Hi, 7th grade. Welcome to lesson 5-7 or 5-6, solve two-step inequalities. By the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to say, I can write and solve two-step inequalities. Let's solve and discuss it. Rico and Halima are shopping for craft sticks, glue, and electrical tape for a science project. Together, they have $30 to spend on supplies. How would they spend their $30 if they need at least 1,000 craft sticks? So we know they need 1,000 craft sticks and $30. Let's think about how we can solve this problem. We'll look for some participation. Okay, well, if we know we need 1,000 craft sticks, we can do 1,000 divided by 275 to see how many boxes of craft sticks we need. That is 3.63 repeating. Can we buy more, or can we buy 0.63 of a box? No, so we're going to have to buy at least 4 boxes. And the 4 boxes, each box costs $4.75. So we're going to multiply 4 times $4.75. So the least we would spend on craft sticks is $19. Remembering that we have $30, so we're going to subtract 19. And we have $11 left over. But we also need to buy tape and glue. Well, if we buy 1 roll of tape, we're going to take 11 and subtract $3.50 from it. And that leaves us with $7.50. And we need to buy some glue. So let's say we could buy the bigger bottle, which is $5. So we could subtract $5, and that gives us leftovers of $2.50. So there's lots of different options we can do here, but the main thing, we know we have to spend at least $19 on craft sticks. Focus on math practices. At the store, Rico and Halima find boxes of 500 craft sticks for $7.50. Which boxes of craft sticks should they buy? Well, if we only need 1,000 craft sticks and we divide by 500, that gives us 2 boxes. If we only need to buy 2 boxes, we're not going to have any leftovers, so we're not going to waste any. And each box is $7.50, which gives us a total of $15, which is cheaper than the $19 from above. So they should buy the boxes with 500 sticks. All right, example number 1. Oops. Hamish has $25.97 in his pocket to spend at the craft store. He wants to buy a paint canvas and some paint pens. How many paint pens can Hamish buy? Well, he only wants to buy 1 canvas, so that's why we have the $14 the cost of the canvas. And then we don't know how many pens he's going to buy, but we know that the cost of 1 pen is $3.50. That's why we are multiplying it to P. And we know that that total amount of money that he's going to spend on the canvas and the pens needs to be less than the amount of money he has or equal to it. So this lesson we're going to solve for the variable, just like we learned in the last 2 lessons, but we're going to put the 2 steps together to solve two-step inequalities. So we solve two-step inequalities just like we solve two-step equations. We got to work farthest away from P. So right now the 315 is touching P, so we need to get rid of the 14. So we're going to subtract 14 from both sides, bring down the 315P, and 2597 minus 14 is 1197. Still trying to solve for P. P is being multiplied by $3.15. So we are going to do the inverse operation of dividing. They cancel each other out, and 11.97 divided by 3.15. So P is less than or equal to 3.8. But can you buy 3.8 pens? No. So the most amount of pens that he can buy are 3 or less. He could buy 2, he could buy 1, he could buy none, and still not spend all of his money. Erin has $52 to spend at the florist. She wants to buy a vase for $11.75 and several roses for $3.50 each. What are the possible numbers of roses that Erin can buy? Well, she has to buy the vase first, and that vase is $11.75. And then she's going to buy the roses for $3.50 each, but we don't know how many roses, so we have the R. And we know the money she spends has to be less than or equal to the amount that she has. So over here I've got $11.75 plus $3.50R is less than or equal to 52. Trying to solve for R, so I have to work the farthest away. I'm going to subtract $11.75 from both sides. And it cancels out on the left. I bring down my 350R, bring down my inequality sign, and then I do the math of 52 minus 11.75, which gives us 40.25. My last step to getting R by itself is to divide both sides by 350. So it cancels out on the left, and remember, since we're dividing by a positive number, we do not have to flip the inequality sign. That's only when you're dividing by a negative number. So that gives us R is less than or equal to 11.5. So she can buy 11.5 roses or less, but you can't buy half of a rose. So the most amount of roses she can buy is 11. What properties did you use to solve the inequality? We did 2 steps here. We used 2 properties. We used the subtraction property because we subtracted 11.75. And then we used division. All right, example number 2. Members of the Science Club are selling coupon booklets for $17.95 as a fundraiser. They hope to exceed the amount of money they raised last year. How many more coupon booklets B must the club members sell to achieve their goal? So right now they have $498.75, and they want to sell more booklets, and each booklet cost $17.95. We don't know how many booklets they're going to sell, so we use B. And we want to be greater than what we did last year. And last year was $658.35. We don't want to be equal to it. We want to exceed the amount. So now we set up the equation. Solving for B, I want to get rid of that 498.75 first. They cancel each other out on the right-hand side. The 1795B gets brought down. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So 658.35 minus 498.75 is 159.6. Still trying to solve for B. So I have to divide both sides by 1795. Cancels out on the left. And 159.6 divided by 17.95 gives us 8.98. So the number of booklets they must sell is more than 8.89. Again, we can't sell 0.89 of a booklet, so they're going to have to sell 9 total booklets in order to exceed their goal or sell more than 9 booklets. Let's try it. The jazz band needs to raise at least $600 to travel to an upcoming competition. The members of the band have already raised $350. If they sell calendars for $8 each, how many calendars would they need to exceed their goal? So we know we already have $350, so that's what we're starting with. But that's not enough money because we want to have $600. So we need to add the sales of the calendars. Each calendar is $8, but we don't know how many we're going to sell. So plus 8C. But we know the amount that we raise, we want to be at least $600. If it's at least $600, it could be more than or equal to 600. Now we need to solve for C. I can't get rid of the 8 yet. I have to subtract the 350 first. So this cancels out. 8C is greater than or equal to 250. Now to get C by itself, I'm going to divide by 8. Cancels out on the left. I grab my calculator. 250 divided by 8 is 31.25. So the jazz band needs to sell at least 31.25 or more. They can't sell 31.25 calendars, so they need to sell at least 32. All right, last example. Solve inequalities with negative values. So this is going to come in from last lesson. Solve the inequality negative 10 minus 9/2 x is less than 80. So we're trying to get x by itself, so we got to get rid of the 10 first. We're going to add 10 to both sides because that cancels out on the left. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. So we get negative 9/2 x is greater than 90. Then my next step is to still get x by itself. Remember, we can't divide by a fraction. Whenever you see a fraction, I want you to flip it and multiply by the reciprocal. So this cross cancels, and we could put 90 over 1. 90 times negative 2 is negative 180. 1 times 9 is 9. Don't forget, now we multiply by negative, so this inequality symbol changes, and we get x is greater than negative 20. Let's try it. Solve the inequality 5 minus 1/2 x is greater than 30. So I'm going to get rid of that 5 first. It's positive, so I'm going to subtract it. Cancels out, and I get negative 1/2 x is greater than 25. I want to cancel out the negative 1/2, so I multiply by negative 2 over 1. I'm multiplying by a negative, so I know I have to switch my inequality sign. These fractions cancel each other out. I have x is less than 12.5. All right, 7th grade, let's say it. I can write and solve two-step inequalities. Have a great day.